Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I'm Lisa Marie. You've just tuned into Bank Life. All right, so I got another paternity court case for you. All right, well, I'm not going to take, y'all already know what to do. Y'all know to subscribe. You might see it come on the screen. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know to subscribe. You know to hit like. Okay, so my goal is 500 subscribers. Help me get there. And let's get to the paternity court case. Milner versus Heath. Let's go.
You claim the defendant, Ms. Heath, deceived you into believing that you fathered her 3-month-old son, Zachariah Milner Jr.
Yes,
You
Your
say you love her son and would be devastated to find out that you've been loving another man's child, which is why you have petitioned the court to order a paternity test. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Heath.
All right, so basically, you already heard it. He said, listen, I'm here to find out if the child is mine. He is the one bringing it. He has petitioned the court, all right, and saying, listen, I want to know if this particular child is mine. You know, I feel, he, for some reason, and he's going to let us know why, he felt that Miss Heath deceived him, making him believe that the child is his and very well may not be his. All right, let's go.
Heath, you admit there was another man, but claim Mr. Milner signed the birth certificate acknowledging paternity, and therefore there's no reason for a test to be ordered. The court must determine if there is enough evidence to warrant ordering a paternity test. So, Mr.
All right, so the court will let you know, it will be decided by the judge on whether the court orders the paternity test to be taken. So this is a little different from the average paternity court case. So Miss Heath feels, hey, you already know the child may not be yours. I didn't try to deceive you. You signed the birth certificate. What seems to be the problem? Let's go.
Mr. Milner, why do you believe Ms. Heath has been deceiving you this entire time?
I feel like she been deceiving me because when I first met her, I told her straight up what I want. And that is, I want a family. I want to be a family man. I'm done reading the streets. I'm really tired of that. And I feel like at the time, as soon as I said that, the light came up above her head like, bing, I got me a duck. You heard me? I'm finna go ahead and pluck this man for whatever I can.
All right, so he's saying, listen, she playing duck, duck, goose. And, she gonna play him because he already told her he was putting away his player card, y'all. And he's saying, listen, I want a family. He's basically said, when I was a child, I did the things of a child, but now I'm mature. He's a man. And he's saying, listen, he want to put away these childish things. And this is just how he feels. But, of course, we got to hear her side, right? All right.
And that's why I'm here. I really need this test.
Oh, you thought like a light came on, like I can use him up. I got one that's just, I can tell anything to.
Man, get away with it, yeah.
Your Honor, that wasn't the case. When I met Mr. Milner, yes, he did say he wanted the family. Of course, I wanted the same thing. I have other children, This was not a part of the plan, I didn't just see him and was like, oh, I got somebody that's gonna sit here and, do the family things and take care of my kids.
All right, so he's not believing her. He's giving all the body language like, whatever, no, whatever. But you got to understand, more than likely she want to settle down and have a family. Come on, how many of y'all had Barbies and Kens? And, from small, we played with the doll babies. And, of course, because she did have other children, she might, she just might want to settle down with him if he was available. And apparently he is. And he wanted maybe the same thing. Like, I could see that happening. He wanted the same thing that she wanted. Everybody's not a user, right? All right, let's go.
Oh, Mr. Milner, I want to understand this. Why do you have doubt?
After everything done happened, we got us an apartment. She sitting there, we watching TV, her head is in my lap. Me and her is talking real well. Next thing I know, she just bust out the tears. I mean, just go straight to crying. I don't know if the baby yours or not. Ooh.
That is not true.
So, allegedly, Mr. Milner is saying, hey, Miss Heath, he was having, they both were having a moment, and, and she, burst out like, hey, I don't know if this particular, the baby might not be yours. That could have happened. She's saying it didn't, of course. But, I mean, that's possible. If you're keeping a secret, you think everything is flowing, and you're saying, dang, suppose this child is not his. And maybe you can't keep it hidden that long.
So I'm like...
That's not true, Your Honor. He doesn't have it correct. I'm sorry.
Okay, how do you see it?
How I don't have it correct?
I kept trying to make sure with my doctor that I had the conception dates right. When the date got moved back, I was like, well, maybe maybe the other, in my head, I was like, maybe it could be another, the other gentleman.
All right, so there is apparently another gentleman that the child could be. Now, I noticed that on a lot of paternity court cases is that, us women are not allowing space between the person you was with previously and the person you're with now. And that's why we're having all of these particular problems, because people are, women and men are getting together like back to back to back after being with other people. And then, of course, it's like, hey, it could be or it may not be. And then, of course, we find ourselves in paternity court. Not a great place to be, but let's go. But it's the best place to be if you don't know who your child father is. I think it's the best place. You want to say, let's get a DNA. Let's make this official. Let me let him know if he's the father, and if not, then I can move on and test the other gentleman. Let's go.
I thought you all were in a committed relationship.
It happened prior to Mr. Milner. That's why I don't understand. I understand his doubt, but I don't understand the fuel to his fire. It's like I cheated on him. I did not.
Oh.
So she's saying straight up, listen, I ain't cheat. I just went with men back to back, but I ain't cheat on him. Now, she is coming off to me very believable. When I was viewing the paternity, I'm like, she came off very believable. Listen, it is what it is. I went with someone before him, then I went with him next, but I guess it still might have been in the same ovulation period. And it could be the other gentleman's.
Oh, so you're saying it could be to another guy before him?
But prior to him. So I went ahead and told him, because I've never lied to Mr. Milner. I was honest with him from day one about any and everything.
All right, so now she's getting emotional. Like, hey, listen, I've been honest with him. I ain't played no games. And wouldn't it be crazy that he's ready to be serious and she look like she's ready to be serious as well? Like, he not playing no games and she not playing no games. Look like a match to me.
What am I blind about?
I'm sorry. The gentleman that he always even claims has nothing to do with the matter. Like, it's always something about me, but I'm always catching stuff on him.
Lamont.
Let's not, paternity court is going to move on. But so there's some issues there as well. She's saying he's always accusing me, and, he got some skeleton. It ain't me, it's him. We're going to gloss over it in the court case, but it is alleged that there's something there with him. He's worried about her, and she's probably saying like, hey, clean up. But according to him, he ready to get serious.
Mebane works for this court, and Ms. Mebane, in the process of taking the statement from Ms. Heath.
All right, so I'm going to fill this in because I know YouTube will, if I keep playing most of the video, YouTube is just going to kick it out. And so Ms. Mebane, she works for the court. And what she did is she just asked Ms. Heath questions regarding whether she wore a condom with the other gentleman. And Ms. Heath allegedly told her that, no, I didn't wear it. You know what I mean? Not all the time. I wore it, but I didn't wear it all the time. So there is a possibility that this child, according to to her, to the court officer, to the young lady that works with the judge, she's saying, listen, this is what I was told. I said the court officer, but it's not the court officer. All right.
It's in the record that you heard her say testimony that differs than what she is presenting in court today.
And that's it. And, you know, basically, that's all it is. She's saying something different. So let's move on.
And not use condoms. So I had condoms on the whole time.
Ms. Mebane, when you...
All right, so we're not going to, you know, so it's just going to be a dispute. She's not changing it. She's just sticking with what she was saying. So we're going to move up a little bit, let it play a little, and move on.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. So, Ms. Heath, did you ever tell the other man that he could be the biological father?
No, man. When I called him, I strictly asked him about the condom. Period, point blank. He was like, no, you made sure that I used condoms.
Saying,
he was like,
I told him, oh, look at the baby. The baby's cute, you know. And some might look at it and say, well, you know, the baby's lighter and maybe it's not his and so forth. But how many of y'all know that the babies come out light? A lot of times, you know, a lot of us came out lighter than and darkened up later. So we really can't go by that either, you know. So she said she called the other gentleman and said, hey, listen, did you wear, you know, did I miss something? And he's like, nope, you know. And so to the other gentleman already, and to her, it's like, hey, it's not his, but it's Mr. Milner's child, which will work out well because Mr. Milner wants the child to be him. He already has to be his. He already has a bond with him.
He was like, we stopped messing around before this, you know, all of this transpired. And he said that nothing happened with the condom. So I was like,
all right. So we got that, right? All right. So let's move on.
This gentleman, I was not aware that he was married until.
All right. So now she's telling the court that the gentleman is married. Let me let her say it. Let me back it up a little bit. Let me let her say. Maybe YouTube will let me play it, most of the video.
He's married, and I didn't know.
Married?
Yeah, he's married. Your Honor, while I was messing with this gentleman, I was not aware that he was married until my relative came to me after I had already.
All right, so she's saying, listen, I didn't know he was married. And we're going to stop right there because we're going to go to part 2 before this whole video get kicked out. But she's saying, listen, I didn't know he was married until a relative came and told me that, hey, I hope you know he married. I hope you know he's still dealing with his wife. And if you view the last paternity court case that I reviewed, you know we don't need the wives coming up. They don't be playing when they coming up in court. So they coming with their A game. They coming up with their game face when they come to court. So we don't need that. But she's saying, I didn't know. You know, and if you have a friend or best friend and you're saying, listen, hey, you know, I'm trying to think of a name that people that I don't know, so they don't say I'm not talking about them. You say, hey, I didn't know Mark. I didn't know Mark had someone, you know, or I don't know if you know that Mark is seeing Jessica. I got to be careful with the name. I didn't know that Mark is seeing Jessica. But you have to say, listen, if that's your friend, if that's your family member, yeah, I'm going to say, listen, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I think he may still, isn't he married? Or I might just, if I'm not sure, propose it as a question. But most family members, I think, will say, listen, I hope you know, and that's what happened to her. I hope you know he's still dealing with his wife. All right, well, we're going to get to part 2. We're going to stop right here, and we're going to take it exactly from here for part 2. Hopefully, YouTube don't kick out my video. I always say that. All right, well, go ahead and leave a comment. Go ahead and leave a like. Let me know what you think about the video. But remember, you got to see part 2 for the results. All right, let's go. See you on the next video.